There were quite a few dinosaurs and other clone creatures that were seen in Jurassic World Rebirth, and also in that island called Saint Hubert. But aside from the Megalodon jaw and the Dunkleosteus that was seen in French Guiana, which are not in that island, there are a total of 13 other predatory or carnivorous species that lived in that fateful place where Masrani and InGen created the mutants. So here in this video we will showcase all of them, all of the predatory creatures seen in that island, and tell you when you saw them. And also we will rank them from smallest to biggest. Let's begin. The first one, the smallest, is the Anorok Nathus. This small little pterosaur, not really a dinosaur, was seen during the mission to get the Quzel Koala sample. You will remember it as that small green little critter that went into the secret staircase. It is the size of a large frog and has a wingspan that is maybe a foot long or 30 centimeters. Here in Rebirth, it had a green skin coloration and feeds on probably small insects. The second one is the Kumoknatis. These small critters were seen in the middle part of the movie when Dr. Loomis fell into the waterhole after losing his grip on the Quzel Koala's nest. These compies were bright red in coloration, which means they might have something like a poisonous coating on their skin and scales, much like the poison dart frogs of today, cause in nature, bright colors always equals poison and death. These dinosaurs would be 2 to 3 feet long and less than a foot tall, or less than 30 centimeters in height. Their main food source is either small reptiles, amphibians, insects, small fish, or scavenging larger dino kills. The third one is called the Ichioagga, maybe. In the movie, there were 2 scenes where we saw these strange crawling reptile-like creatures, but owing to their oily and slimy skin, and the fact that they have fins growing on their tails, we can confirm that they are a species of extinct amphibians. And with their broad arrow-shaped heads, they maybe are clone specimens of the Ichioagga. These are generally over 2 to 3 feet long, they are predators, and were from the Devonian period, which means some 400 to 360 million years ago, which makes them one of the oldest species here. Number 4. The Velociraptor. Now these creatures did make an appearance in Rebirth, but their role was limited or negligible, as their part in the movie was replaced by the bigger and deadlier mutants. A pair of them, however, was seen during that moment where I can't emphasize enough that dumb kid went on to take a piss. They were then attacked by the larger flying mutant, which honestly in my opinion shouldn't have happened, at least not until they ripped the boy apart. Yeah, I was actually rooting for the dinosaurs in taking out that insufferable family here in the movie and placing them on the food chain. Anyway, heading over to number 5, we have the Dilophosaurus. This frilled version of the real-life creature was also seen munching away to glory on the partially devoured kill of the TRex. This Dilophosaurus then acted on instinct to chase away the girl from the food source, as would any other animal have done so in real-life situations. Anyway, you and I, same, we're still confused as to whether the Dilophosaurus is bigger or smaller than the Velociraptor. The website says that they are 10 feet tall and 20 feet long, but in all the movies depicting them, they seem smaller, around 10 feet long and 4 feet tall. But that's neither here nor there. Now at number 6 we have the Mutadons. So even though they said that there would not be any hybrids in this movie, the Mutadons that appeared were later confirmed to be a failed mutant dinosaur-pterosaur hybrid of a Velociraptor and a pteranodon, which although is a mutant, is also a hybrid. The Mutadons here feature pterosaur-like wings, which makes them capable of some flight, as well as a big jaw with razor-sharp teeth behind them, and powerful talons that allows them to pick up their prey when they fly off with it, like what they did to the raptor. They are smart, savage and very relentless hunters, pursuing their prey until they catch them or they die. Next is the pteranodon. Seen in a short scene where it flew over the T-Rex having a drink on the riverside, the pteranodons would have filled in the gap between the Anorok Nathus and the Quzel Koalas in the aerial domain, as a being of medium size, preying on small to medium sized animals and dinosaurs in the island. As we all know, these pterosaurs are generally taller than a man and with a wingspan of over 6 to 7 meters wide, or 20 to 23 feet wide. Now, on the aquatic domain, aside from the Spinosaurus, the Mosasaurus and the Ichioagga, or the amphibian, there is also a strange eel-like creature. Not much is known about this strange snake or eel-like animal, you know, the one that appeared in the swampy area. See, in one shot it was seen to have some sort of a dorsal and body fin, which cancels the theory of it being a titanoboa or any other large snake cause it has fins. But even with the short scene, we can still estimate it to be around at least 20 feet long, maybe in the medium-sized range, filling the gap between the Ichioagga and the Spinosaurus in the aquatic domain. Then next, going on to the air, we have the Quzel Koalas. This is the biggest flying pterosaur here in this movie. See, in Rebirth we meet the InGen-created pterosaur, which are identified as Quzel Koalas, which showed little resemblance to the real creature or the one made by Biosyn in Dominion. These individuals feature a prominent keel on their beaks, an outdated trait once mistakenly attributed to the Quzel Koalas in early reconstructions. They are noticeably smaller than the previous version seen in the franchise, with wingspans comparable to a modern jet fighter, which aligns more closely with their actual prehistoric size. They are highly protective of their nests and can swallow a man whole. Visually, they are dark grey in coloration with a striking wing membrane, blue on the outside and vivid orange on the inside. Their beaks and throats are bright orange, while their necks are marked with blue pycnofibers and a very vivid blue striping down the back. Anyway, now let's begin with the big four. We start here with the Spinosaurus, the first of the large dinosaur predators on the island, which is more aquatic than terrestrial here, with a quadrupedal stance as opposed to the first one from Jurassic Park 3, which is mainly bipedal. There were 5 of them in total, 4 that went onto the sea with the Mosasaurus, dealing with what they perceive as a threat to their symbiotic balance of power in their niche, and then there was the 5th one that attacked the people on the beach. Although no official statement has been released, they would have probably been around 40 feet long, and I would say way weaker on a one-on-one fight against a T-Rex or the D-Rex, but could prevail together as a pack, which shows the delicate balance of power between the different apex carnivores here on the island. So a bit bigger than the Spinosaurus is the Tyrannosaurus Rex, no doubt my favorite of the dinosaurs here amongst the creatures of Rebirth Island. This T-Rex was seen to be in a very relaxed mood and only woke up after that dumb chick opened a frickin' raft right in front of his face. And yet, it wasn't even disturbed at first, more like a wake-up call to have a drink and maybe an insult match with the flying pteranodon overhead. I'm pretty sure it wouldn't have even chased that family onto the river if they didn't make as much of a racket as they did, and I'm pretty 100% sure he just wanted some peace and quiet. Anyway, the T-Rex, as you all know, would be around 12 to 13 meters or 40 to 43 feet long, even though it looks bigger here in the movie, and much more massive than a single Spinosaurus, but it would be more wary of being near the sea due to their numbers, and hence hunts near the valley and the rivers. Now next, the Dilophosaurus Rex, well technically still a T-Rex but mutated. Now the D-Rex is officially said to be 8 meters or 26.2 feet tall and 14.5 meters or 47 feet long, but in certain scenes it was visually bigger, like way bigger. And it stalks in and around the research zone, where the lab is. Why it looks bigger is the dramatic scaling style of the director of 2014 Godzilla, which aims more to instill shock and awe instead of accuracy. As you will remember, when Godzilla was swimming side by side with the aircraft carriers, he was way bigger than all those ships despite being 400 feet tall or 800 feet long. Yeah, that's that. Anyway, the D-Rex, as we all know, is a malformed or a mutated T-Rex, although someone said in an Empire article that there was sauropod DNA intertwined, which kinda makes it a hybrid instead of a mutant. And I don't know why they would turn 180 on a statement they made last year about no hybrids anymore in this movie. But that just goes to show that you cannot trust Hollywood, can you? Anyway, that brings us to the biggest here, the Mosasaurus, the biggest predatory creature in Isle St. Hubert and the surrounding seas. In a previous video, a few months back, we calculated the size to around 200 feet long, but taking into account or into consideration the dramatic scaling of Gareth Edwards, it would probably be only half of that officially, or maybe around 40 meters at max. It is not the same Mosasaurus that was from the early Jurassic World movies, but rather a new one created on the island, so it seems. And whether it would meet the OG, well, that's for the future sequels to decide. Or maybe they should call it quits. I mean, the Jurassic franchise isn't really going up, but rather going down slowly. Anyway, with that we end this video. Now if you like this video, then watch this other one too, the one in the end screens. And do check out our channel for other dragon, dinosaur and monster content. So like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, fam.